Are you thinking about him?
Yeah, a bit. Usually get back to sleep, my love. I'm fine.
No, it's okay. What else is on your mind?
I don't know. It seems weird, but I had one of the most vivid dreams of my life. I saw a fox on a snowy mountain, just looking confused and worried. Those eyes. I can't get those eyes out of my head. She was running in the windy snow, looking for something.
Do you think it has to do with you and what's been going on?
I don't know. It was just a dream, Rachel. They're not meant to make sense. A lot's happened the past couple days, that's all.
Well, if you're not going to sleep anyway, you should tell me. I want to hear.
All right.
I have a feeling that this game is going to be a sad one. I do not know how happy this game will leave me. For an indie game made by one person, I'm surprised at how well the graphics are meshing. It does seem that the dialogue is tied to certain checkpoints, so you have time to explore, as it were. One more controls. Okay, come on. Yes, I know you want me to, but how?
So, not far from her home, she followed that path to something unexpected. She couldn't stay, though. She had to find her other two children. So she took that path. She followed it towards something ancient. Something with answers.
The first.
The fox looked high and low, searching for any sign of her cubs. Points of light showed the way to this ancient tree. It was as if each one had a story to tell, all their own. The land was trying to tell my story, too. I felt like I was right behind her the whole time.
There's light over to the side over here. And a playground. Okay. What do we have over here? Toys. Broken vases. So you have to use your second jump before you start arcing down.
As a kid, did you ever do show and tell in your class?
Yeah, I think I only did it once, when I was in the 4th grade. You know how my life was around then. I wanted to show my class what helped pass the time and distracted me. So I brought a dozen paper cranes I had made. I think I told everyone how badly I wanted to be a bird and fly, embarrassingly enough.
Don't be embarrassed. Every kid wants to fly. For me, it was another toy from my dad, a wooden boat. I remember guarding it so carefully in my hands as I walked into class. When I sat down, a group of boys immediately made fun of it. They asked which trash can I found it in, or why an ugly log was my favorite toy. When I got up, I didn't even want to tell them my dad had carved it. I said it was a joke gift my friend had given me.
Kids can be so cruel.
Some of them are. I shouldn't have let them get to me, but it did. It's amazing we bounced back at all.
Okay. This is gonna be one of those games. With a story to tell and feelings to bring out. Sound. No, there's not a way to change the sound. Okay. Does it sound like the music of the game is louder than the voices to a quite noticeable extent. But indeed, the first game, there's going to be some things that aren't there. A lot of light up there. What story marker do we have here?
Usually those kids would leave me alone, but somehow they could tell I was different. They made fun of how far away I lived. They called my dad a sourdough. I was a blabbermouth as a kid, telling my dad stories I made up for hours. But after that show and tell, I didn't tell him much anymore. He didn't know exactly what was wrong, but his best guess was that the toys he carved weren't cool enough. He carved me a tank and tried to tell me what it was like to be in a real tank as a serviceman.
I didn't know your dad was in the military.
Yeah, in the army. The sad thing is that I'd pretty much forgotten until just now. There's so much I still don't know about him.
I'm sorry. He knows how much you love him. You're going to see him again soon and have some closure, I'm sure.
Already talking about getting closure. Oh boy. Oh, this is getting hurt. So next light points I'm seeing are all in that direction. Okay, fall damage is not a thing. That's a good way to find out. Something over this hill here. Another giant version of a toy that was carved, perhaps? It's school bus. Okay, what happened on the school bus? Find it? Okay. Oh, there's something over there I want to go check out.
The older I got, the more I withdrew. I asked myself, why talk to anybody anyway? Why bother when I'm happy by myself? I started drawing a lot, mostly animals I saw in the woods by my home. I then imagined designing my own hideouts with things like TVs and pantries full of chips and cookies. I think that idea of leaving home and drawing blueprints started my career. I found a lot of solace in that.
I'm not surprised, but I did the same thing, you know? There's something special about having a place to call your own.
And now look at us. Well, if you count renting in an overpriced city.
It's as close as we can get for now.
Okay, so they are half-blood, right? So that's is another slide. A smaller slide, though. Another slide? No. Little shelter. I thought there were more sparklers over here. Maybe they're over a hill going up, and I'm just looking the wrong direction. So yeah, because there's the rocket ship slide. But yeah. Okay.
Do you remember what my dad did for a living?
Wasn't he like a lumberjack?
That's one way of putting it. If wood was a canvas, then a carving knife was his paintbrush. Even after working a 50-hour week, even after his hands were more splinters than skin, he would bring home the nicest piece of Alaskan weeping cedar and make me toys. That wooden train was the first toy I can remember, and I loved it. I just knew from a young age I was going to be a lumberjack, like my father.
Okay. There's more lights there, and there's more up on the hill over there too. I think we'll try going through this hill first. I might need to go around over there anyway to get up here, but we'll see. Looks like we need to find a way to go around. anticipating going back up the hill. So that's the part we dug up. Then that's the rocks. Have light. We're gonna have to jump off to get those, and then go through the canyon, I guess. I can definitely see where the dev went from here to make their next game, the steps and conclusions they made along the way. Because already I can tell that a lot of feedback that they got between the two games was this game was too big and they need to make it the world smaller. Which is why their next game is it's not more condensed, it's just more directed and precise. Oh. No more snow.
My teenage years were full of sketching, angst, and trouble. I wasn't popular or unpopular. Maybe just forgettable. I guess that gave me a sense of freedom, so I hung out with crazy kids, doing crazy things, even though I mostly just watched the chaos ensue. We did it all. Put fireworks in mailboxes, hide roadkill in people's garages, break windows of the barber shop in Anchorage. My dad was furious, but he was so busy working he couldn't do much to stop me from going out.
I think being an adult means there's no one to stop you making hard decisions.
So
He
this
had
is
to make a
Alaska
living,
story.
and he couldn't be in two places at once.
Yeah, I realize that now. But at the time, I was sure he was more interested in growing his business than what was going on with me.
You know, it's that butterfly plus. Okay, so I guess I'm not supposed to be able to get up here just yet. Because there's butterflies over there. Already finding ways to get into areas I'm not supposed to be yet. Okay, so butterflies give you a super jump. And they follow you until you use it. Police cruiser. Oh, does this mean he got in trouble? With the ball. Oh, we got another dick spot, so let's see what they have to say.
He was working another late night, and my friends were over, saying how bored they were and how they had come all the way out to my house for nothing. One of them mentioned how that old, ugly beyond belief truck was still in the garage, and how we should take it for a spin. I was only 15, so I kind of fought it for a while. The next thing I knew, we were careening around the mountain path, rocks spitting onto the sides of the cliff, while my dad's cringeworthy bluegrass blared out the speakers. I drove while my friends were in the back of that yellow and purple truck, throwing beer bottles and trash at anything remotely interesting. Felt like I was soaring in the air with borrowed wings. But all good things have endings.
Missing persons.
A cop
reports.
outside of
Lovely.
Eagle River pulled us over after he saw us send a bottle rocket into someone's yard. What followed was a long night of talking to disappointed adults and feeling smaller than ever.
Yep. More sparkly, so we're heading in the right direction. Big waterfall. And geyser. Okay, we got a lot of butterflies down there. Did we take that spot? Yes, that was the first spot we took on this page. Okay. Class of 1999. Ooh. Okay, so Sparkly's going up over that ridge there. I assume that's the page leave section. There's a dig spot over there. I assume that's the old clunker car truck that was in the garage. Blue and white with the big old yellow stripe down the middle.
After he drove me home from the police station, I blew up at him, saying how I never wanted to be like him, how I was gonna be someone and leave that hick icebox for good. He just looked forward at the road with tired eyes. I took out that bluegrass tape from the cassette deck and chucked it out the window. In my sage teenage wisdom, I thought I proved the ultimate point. But my dad had a different idea. He slammed the brakes, slowly bowed his head while gripping the steering wheel, and finally looked at me. All he said, like it was a polite request, was, "Make this right." I sat there in silence, fuming, but I eventually got out and combed every square inch of the woods, muttering profanity after profanity. I found it 30 minutes later, near a small waterfall off the road. I went back to the truck, put the wet tape back in, and sure enough, it worked. We didn't speak another word to each other the rest of the night.
Wow, I knew you were a crazy teenager, but
It's hard to believe, isn't it? It surprises me too. It's like I didn't really know who that kid was back then. I bet my dad thought the same thing over and over. It's almost like he was saying, "Make this right," to himself, more than to me.
Oh, he probably was. Oh, he was good, Dad. What do we have over here? The barber shop. And a blank piece of paper and a giant pencil. Alright. I need 3 groups of butterflies. Okay. So I need the ones from... So yeah, I need all 3 groups of butterflies. So that's the one from the waterfall, one from under the rock, and the one from there. Ooh, wait, that makes me wonder if there might be something... There are sparkles up there. I'm gonna need multiple butterflies to get them. Can I do 2, or am I gonna need all 3? That's the question. Let's try with these 2. See if we can get up to the truck with these 2. Okay, so we're gonna have to start doing cross back and forth to butterfly locations, so we're gonna need to start keeping a mental map of where they are. I'm gonna need 3 to get up there, aren't I? Nope, 2 works? Okay, so just blue and yellow. Okay. The waterfall ones are going to be the trickiest to collect. Because they're after a jump, which means they also need to be the first ones to collect. Right? Hand off the space bar. We're going to be using jump controls for movement until we collect all these butterflies so that I don't accidentally hit the jump button and have to reset.
My friends would laugh about that night and talk about how crazy it was, and I laughed along, pretending it didn't bother me. But it did. I imagined my friends growing old in the bush and able to find that thrill in those godforsaken ice fields. It's like those mountains were a literal wall, keeping me from leaving, where all I would have to look forward to are lumber yards and evening beers. I had to climb over. That was my only goal for a long time. If there was some way I could take my love of drawing and turn it into a way of escape, nothing would make me happier. I wanted to create instead of tearing trees down. I wanted to move to the lower 48, not because I hated it there in Alaska, but I hated the idea of it. It's like all of that spite inside me had created this monster which followed me around my whole teenage years. I put so much energy into doing what others didn't expect of me. Why did I do that?
There's one fact you're forgetting, though. If you didn't have that fire in you, we probably would have never met.
You're absolutely right. Maybe the destination is all that matters in the end. But then why am I awake? Why am I seeing this fox go on her journey? And why can't I stop thinking about my dad?
Ah, what's sparkly back there? He was hiding from me. Where's our next sparkles? We've got the geysers. Is that where we're supposed to be heading next? We can't really get up that hill there. We'd only be able to get up to those trees there at the most. Lens flare! Good lord, that's bright. Okay. Let's check out the geysers. Geysers are empty. Geysers were loading page. Okay. So there's lights going that way and lights going this way. Then towards the sun. We'll go away from the sun first. So what we have over here. I know this is just the speed mechanics they have built in with the slope, but as we're getting into New Ages, we're reaching more slope territory, which causes you to move slower as they're also going up in the years.
My dad built a lot of stuff in his free time. If he wasn't watching fly fishing or reading Tom Clancy novels, he was carving something. He made tons of birdhouses. Not that he was into bird watching, but I think he really missed working and adding on to the home. If he couldn't afford the time to build onto our own house, he would have to settle with watching birds move into their little homes. We kept an old mattress in the bed of that ugly yellow truck, so we would drive it deep into the woods and then watch the birds fly into their houses while the sun set. Usually it was accompanied by venison jerky or a cold Coke, but not a lot of talking, which is how we both liked it.
Well, then.
We were happiest underneath the evergreens. We decided it was time to finally map out the hundreds of acres we lived on just to pass the time during the summer. He was only free in the evenings, so I would spend the day wasting time on dial-up internet and sketching, and then we would rush into the woods, pen and map in hand, before evening fell. Sometimes, the aurora borealis would cast a cold green glow on the mountainside, and we would finish our route underneath a twilight sky. Sometimes I was lonely during those summer days, but there was comfort in the routine.
A lot of teenagers aren't looking for the daily grind, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out, to leave your childhood home. You wanted to progress, to make something of yourself.
Yeah, you're right. That house. I'm sure it's the same as how I left it. Then why does it feel so different?
I doubt you're the only adult to have looked back and asked that question.
You most certainly are not. That is a question that a great many have asked. I have a feeling I might be looping around where I don't want to be just yet. Maybe I can crack through the rocks is the only passageway over to the next section of this. Or we can go back over into the woods and loop back around that way. But then if there is something back here, we'll miss it. Okay. Dagnabbit, I'm invested in this story. Okay, so I need to find 3 stars and then crouch here. Okay, so this is an area where I do need to go. I just don't have what I need here yet. Okay. So then where am I supposed to be? Who knows? And are they going to be very distinctly noticeable different from the other lights, or no? Only time will tell. See a light over there. The way these trees load in from a distance just sometimes gets me, and I think there's ants moving around. Oh, what do we have over here? Ah, his old computer. Okay, bracket enter and delete were used plenty for backspace, not delete. not supposed to be over there till later. Then... guess we try going to the right side of things from where we originally started on this page. Let's see what we got over there. Yeah, that's where we found the birdhouse part of the story. Oh, there's water over here. Or is that just wind going through heavy trees? Guess it's just wind. The sound they're using for wind going through heavy trees. Okay. Oh. Indistinguished grave. Talking about the dad like he's still alive, so that's not his. One of the friends got in an accident, maybe? There's been no mention of mom so far. No tree, we're going to be going the other way first. By making a bad decision, then it will come back to haunt me. But we're given the name of the game, I am ignoring the tree for right now. What do we have here? Oh, the old mattress that they use for bird watching. Okay. Up there. Okay, so we're gonna have to go up the rocks to get up there. Okay. And we're seeing another light orb over here. Oh, I'm supposed to catch them. I need to go back into the canyon. Okay. Okay. I guess my timing was just consistently off. What do we have here? Tents? Tent and sleeping bags. Okay. Is there no story over here? There's story. And what is that next to? House. Okay.
On our property, there were old abandoned pieces of a shed and car long left unused. I I used to ask him all the time who those people were that left all this junk, and I'm sure he got so tired of hearing it that he made up some elaborate stories how a brown bear ate them and haunted the woods afterwards. What's funny is I think it made those people seem more real, growing up thinking they were still hanging out like they couldn't say goodbye. I used to tell my friends how I could swear I saw spirits move near the water, and that always freaked them out. I guess it didn't bother me, because the way I saw it, they were normal people with old cars and sheds, just trying to figure out how to survive and be happy in the middle of nowhere. It was a cool thought that they didn't want to leave, but I was a weird kid.
Well, you had good company since those ghosts like living in a place where they were brutally devoured.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so I missed several sparklies on my way out. Unless I'm behind the tree, maybe? It might actually be. Oh, no, there's the tree over there. There's thing to catch. That's story part, but let's go get the other thing to catch that I mucked up the timing on. Because that also looks like it might be loading page, and I'm not sure if these are optionals or mandatories to grab before going to the next page. I guess their story is connected to the grave. Is I am planning to play. I've played the second game that this dev made on stream before. It was 2 years ago now. And I am planning to play the newest game that they released recently, which looks like they took the best of both and combined it together by having a larger open world, but with things spread throughout. So it's not empty, but still having a narrative flow. Because the thing about the second game was it did not have as direct narrative of a story. And at least with me being bad at puzzles, with the way that I had to progress through it and the time that it took to do so, it was a very discombobulated story by the time I was getting to portions. Because of how long and frustrated I was getting at the puzzle solving to go on to the next area. So, looks like they're, from what I have seen of it so far, it's more of a collect-a-thon with puzzles, where there's checkpoints that you need so many collectibles to get past. You can get the collectibles by exploring or by solving puzzles. So that way, whichever way appeals to you, you can get through it that way. And I mean, even the art in their second game was amazing. They kept that same level of growth in their art. And it is so gorgeous. Alright, on to the train. Already past teen into young adults. too aged. Trees can be right up here in that area between the hills. Okay, let's see what we have to say here.
Even at my most distant, at the times when I detested him the most, he kept reaching out.
Carving knife.
For a year straight, he asked me every week when we were going camping. I thought he was just dense. Eventually, to shut him up, I agreed. We carried out the worn lawn chairs from the garage and set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian rocks shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet, or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection. I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree. Something about seeing my name there made me open up, and we talked about everything that night in that old camouflage tent. I told him how much I loved sketching and design, and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to finally get me to talk, he would have left me carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it, but it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me. The perpetrator stood nearby, unfazed, like nothing was wrong. My dad is dead, and he's never coming back, Rachel. I can tell you these stories, but I can never reminisce with him again. He can never hold a grandchild that we'll probably never be able to have. I can never talk to him again, and I'll never be able to say I'm sorry for everything.
Hey! Guess that is not doing okay. Get your ass back here. It is a wolf. Whoa! He disappeared. And we've got the strings coming in to pull people's hearts. descend into the valley. Well, no more. He's dead perpetrator. So something happened. Someone else was involved. And there's a story piece. I guess I took too long getting down the mountain for the music. Hardly the first time that's happened.
I need to go to bed. I just can't talk about this anymore. Good night.
Story written by his dad for him. Or is that a newspaper article? No, it's not a newspaper article. It's not thick enough for a folded newspaper. We are now on. Okay, you taught me to go
Joseph,
towards shinies. There's so many
I can't go to
shinies.
sleep feeling like this. I'm sorry for everything, and I know you need space, but I'm here for you. You don't need to feel so lost. Joseph, have I ever told you what my mother was like?
Is the story here mutual reminiscence? Because there can be some healing in it. But not if you're not at that point yet.
You know what it's like not to have a mom at home. And you know how hard that made my childhood. What helped me was watching the birds in the morning before the school bus came. I thought that my mother was one of those birds, and it made me want to be free like her. My mom taught me how to fold origami cranes while she was in the hospital. So I told myself I would fold one every day until I could fly myself. think we both have always loved animals, and for me that love started with a dog. Sometimes this Rottweiler would come up to our property line and wait at the fence for me, but only once in a while. I was sure to check every day immediately after school, and it usually ended in disappointment. I would even steal money from my passed-out dad just so I could buy these off-brand dog biscuits. Even when she did stop by, she never went beyond the fence. Why was she so scared? I think my dad was the opposite of your dad in almost every way, except he was in the military as well. He coped with alcohol of every kind. The trailer started falling apart, he got angry, and I withdrew. More and more I became the weird, quiet kid who made lots of origami birds and carried dog biscuits around. I think we were pretty similar when it came to being the weird kids. And that same sincerity in college was one of the reasons I was so drawn to you. Life got worse and worse, and at one point, I really didn't think I could survive another day with my soul still intact. I had no real friends, let alone neighbors, since we lived in the middle of nowhere. I should have talked to my teacher, but I was scared what he would do if he found out. As I waited for the school bus one morning, I walked around until I found something in an abandoned shed. Something I can't put into words.
But you're about to.
I summoned courage I didn't know I had, and I broke into my dad's room and found the key to the shed where he had locked my bike. I'll never forget that feeling of the wind rushing by my ears as the sun rose over fields of wheat. I was flying for the first time. I biked as far as my legs could take me until I found a house that felt friendly and that felt like home. Those strangers helped me in so many ways. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have found my foster family. And if it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't have met you. You have strength, Joseph, and you're not as alone as you think.
It's all just so pointless. Just waiting for life to happen. It's like having the home I always wanted is cursed out of my reach. The thought of being a parent myself. How could I do that when I couldn't even be a good son? I'm sorry. I know what you're saying. I just don't know how things will work out. These quiet hours will turn into years. We'll wonder which roads passed us by.
Then we'll forge a new road together. Besides, I discovered for myself that one fateful morning where any hopeful road leads to. There may be thorns and mist, but it always leads to the same thing.
And what's that?
Family.
I'm so glad that you're part of my family, Rachel.
And I'm glad you're part of mine.
I'm not the person who's going to fall for your woodwind crescendos. That's not going to bring out emotions in me. It's the wrong instrument. I'm the wrong person. Hey, it's a toaster. A toaster and fridge and mattress. Microwave, laundry machine. Okay. Seen all the signs of a house that has been destroyed by a tornado. What's the story part here? What's going on? pictures. Wabbit. Fox bouncing into the snow. Military unit. That is an actual picture of a military unit. Of a specific unit. It's not a drawing or a sketch of one. Meaning either A, they actually were themselves in the service, knew somebody was and got permission from the unit to use the picture. Or they had to submit a form and get permission as someone who was not connected to the unit to use the picture, which is a much more lengthy process. And they scrutinize it much more. Oh, I can't run through that? I get stuck on it? Okay, fine. Are those just gulls, or did I hear other sound effects? Yeah. That's a lot of deer. I'm going to explore this side of the beach first. Fox and deer usually don't mix. Yes, it is very easy for one to be trampled by the other. Hey, here. Another picture. Map. And the medals earned in service. Couch, chair, and teddy. Oh, those bastards are heavy. Flags. And service revolver. Bedside dresser? China hutch. Okay. China cabinet. Fire guard, fireplace. Okay, can I go back out to water? It does not allow. Alright. Into the area with deer and see just how bad of an idea it's going to be this time. Unless we can hop over this wall here instead. Maybe? Or is this going to connect us into the same area just through a different path? Same area, different path. Okay. There are lots of sparkles down there. And there's an invisible wall telling me that I have to go down. Okay. So be it. Okay, they aren't trying to trample me. That's good. Are there just the ones on the walkway, or are there more sparkles down here? Looks like those might be the only ones. Okay. Are those supposed to be gulls or people that I'm hearing in the distance there? I'm not sure which it's supposed to be, but it keeps catching me off guard. Hey, platformer puzzle time. Okay. Sparks by the tree of the rock. Does not appear so. Then on to the next page we go. Because if that's not loading into a next page, I don't know what is. With the way that they've set up every other loading page between two hills like this.
The fox knew her last cub would be waiting for her at the first tree. She was almost there. The rain cascaded onto the Jade Valley where the entrance to the tree was. Life was protected there, because that's where life began. It was now only a mother and a daughter left. Items from my life still dotted the ground as she moved closer to her destination and destiny.
Oh, I hope there wasn't anything on that list that I was supposed to get. Well, hello, Gecko. Hope the times are treated you well. Hopefully much better than treating the people in this game. Okay, so there's sparkles up on that hill. What do we have up here? We've got a house up there. We've got a
Today,
sorority
Pennsylvania had an incident.
party. Yes, yes, they did. I'll have to come up when I go this way before I hit an invisible wall. Okay, we can go up. Okay, here's the invisible wall. Okay. So no higher than that. Alright, so there was nothing up here. So we're just going for those sparkles over there now. Then we continue on to the house by way of looping around through the canyon over there. That's always fun when that happens. That always causes a lot of chaos.
At the end of high school, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Drive. I looked into the best architecture schools on the West Coast and got a dose of reality when looking at other students' portfolios and the high cost of tuition. I still wanted to be something, to be the next Alvaro Siza, and to make those thousands of sketches worth something in my grand history. But now even an internship sounds impossible. Siza helped me understand how essential emotion is in architecture, and he also said light is the real composer of space. I like to think these glints of light, like not finding a job, or even a strange dream about a fox, are something I should be thankful for, even if the illuminated space is something I'm less than comfortable with.
That is certainly one way to approach the situation. Is there anything hanging behind this rock? Does not look like it, okay. Story potion over here. So take a wild loop on up to those. Okay.
My dad was super supportive with my college plans, to a point. Things were okay until this terrible accident happened. I guess a forklift flipped over due to a bad axle, and it crushed one of the workers there. My dad didn't eat for days, even though he wasn't directly involved. It devastated him. Not only did it hurt the business, but it just freaked him out. He would talk in his sleep, muttering things about firing people and saying sorry. One fateful day he approached me. Said that since my school search wasn't going well, I should finally be a man and take over the family business. He said one day he was going to die, and that all of his work, sacrifice, and even that man's life would be wasted in vain. I just lost it. Teenage me just exploded at the thought. I
Yeah.
screwed up. I said things I shouldn't have. He was having a crisis, and I pretty much spit in his face.
That is no way to handle the situation, though, from his end either. That is no way to approach a topic like that. If you didn't blow up in his face, I'd be surprised. Now, that is a perfectly valid reason to crash out. Jeez Louise. I mean, saying you want your kids to take over the family business one day is one thing. But to broach it in that manner, and to address it that callously. Yes, I understand he's going through a crisis, but no. Here's the forklift, the culprit thing. That wheel snapped off. That's cool water.
Was that the last time you talked to him?
No, I called on holidays, and he would call on my birthday. I guess we acted like nothing ever happened, which was stupid. I didn't want to ask about his lumberyard, and I'm sure he didn't want to ask about my job search. I never went back and visited. I think the last conversation we had was about what movies we had seen and what exactly a best boy is in the credits. I thought he would be here so much longer.
It's not easy coming to terms with that about your folks, even if you don't necessarily get along. There are certain family members that I won't mourn when they pass. I'm not exactly ready to dance a jig when they do either. But yeah, that's okay. So he was in the hospital for a while, set up with IV and traction. People sent get well cards. Some with hand-drawn caricatures. Others just with store-bought platitudes. But seeing those family members that I don't exactly get along with and are not the best of people, I deliberately go out of my way to not see them very often. And when that fails and I get to see, oh, yes, it has been years, and yes, you have aged significantly in that time. The mortal coil draws near for you. It still catches me off guard when it happens. I may not mourn overly much when they're gone. I may not dance a jig, but it catches me off guard when you realize, yes, time is a thing that has happened. You don't see it when you're spending time with someone on the regular. I mean, it's easier to notice with those of younger age, like my nephews. I was their primary caretaker for a solid 7 years. Now I am alien to the garden of them. I still see them on the weekly, but I remember when they didn't come up to my knee. And now they're starting to learn to drive. It's time's a bitch. Oh, I gotta go all the way back there and loop up. Wait. Okay, I'm not supposed to be up here. Does that mean I was supposed to go down that ravine on that side? Oh. Okay. Guess we're gonna have to backtrack across here anyway. Now it's just straight shot through, I guess. Not even a story fragment hidden over here. Alright. Go up the hill over here, run to the ravine. And I guess we'll fucking eat ourselves off the cliff. Because I'm not seeing what else there is to do in here. I'm not seeing any other areas where there are sparkles that might have a progression path. So that's what we're doing. Okay, makes sense. There was the story portion over there, then there was the one here. Then the one right down there. So, yeah, I guess this would make sense to be the spot to progress. Over the rocks we go. Like on pages 1 and 2. And page 4 had us go down the ravine after the wolf, so. I guess we weren't supposed to get up to the lumber mill up there. Up to the farm silo. Nope, because this is blocked off. Yep, and there's an invisible wall there blocking us. So I'm not supposed to go down there? The tree. We need to get to the tree. Okay, so there's gotta be another hill over here on the left I can climb. Where? Either a platform puzzle or a slope that's just off on color. Or a fucking hole in the wall that I missed before. Okay. I guess I'll just continue to be blind. So be it. Blind I shall be, evermore. Fucking bitch.
In the distance, the first tree illuminated the wasteland. She couldn't go home anymore. She did the only thing she was capable of. Moving forward. My dad died alone in the middle of the wilderness. I should have been talking to him more. I should have done a lot of things differently.
If the first tree on Earth brought life with it, if it taught the birds to sing and fly and showed saplings how to grow, what could it do for us?
There was a letter I received yesterday from a name I didn't recognize, with a quote I can't stop thinking about. Death is not the opposite of life, but a part of it. More and more, I'm realizing one important truth. Each of us have our own journey to the first tree, but sometimes I'm not sure I'm ready to take that first step.
You already have my love.
And hello, Urkel. God damn it. The first tree awakens and gently asks if there is one last message the fox wants to tell her children. She replies back and says, "Type your answer here!"
Oh.
Oh, the sparkles we collected along the way are how many letters we get to use.
Oh.
So if you were just running through the game, you can't leave a long message. You can't say much. Okay.
guess her journey was over. But I have no idea. It was only a dream. A distraction from tomorrow.
I don't think dreams normally bring back to memory so many important feelings. Maybe it was just a dream, but it was also a gift.
Yeah, I suppose. But tomorrow we're getting on a plane to the last place on Earth I want to be. The only person that would have made the trip worth it is gone.
You're going to see him and be with him one last time before you say goodbye. I have one last quote for you by Emerson, sealed in an imaginary letter from me to you. It is the secret of the world that all things subsist and do not die, but only retire a little from sight and afterward return again. Go to sleep, my love. We have a big day tomorrow, but I'll be there with you every step of the way.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. Good night, Rachel.
Good night, Joseph.
So how much of the story were you here for?
I literally just woke up at the end. I'm being realistic. I fell asleep.
6 months later. Woo-wee!
Definitely gonna watch the
Oh.
of this.
Oh no. Oh.
You're gonna see a fox out the window.
Okay, so there's Rachel, so I am Joseph.
I can't actually make out what's happening. It's
We
too
are
dark.
at the house. Or is this hotel?
Maybe hotel. There's
No, this is at the house. That's a moving truck. We're collecting everything from here that I want to take. Share mom and dad. I know we're out a decent ways in the country in Alaska. I do not like how there is not enough nighttime noise for this to be real. I've lived in country land like this, and it is not this quiet.
I was gonna say suspension of disbelief on that one.
Tell that to my head. Bathroom. So I assume that door's gonna go outside. Is this door gonna go outside too? Oh. Oh, fuck. That. Oh. His dad was getting a place ready for them to move into the house out here. The nursery and everything.
Okay, this is just a question. Are we sure the moving truck is that moving out and not the moving into this place?
I don't. Given the story so far, I do not see him moving into this place. I don't see him moving back to his childhood home, given what we know so far. Oh no. The game is giving me choices. I could jump off the cliff and go down to the river over there or follow this winding path.
Winding path.
Oh, car! Oh! We're still dreaming. We are dreaming. That's the truck that I crashed. Okay. Here's no trespassing sign. Can't go out that way. Okay, so we'll go down the other winding path. Unless the game really wants me to eat myself off the cliff into the lake.
Come on, iPad pencil. Do not die on me right now.
Oh. There's the tent. We would go camping, me with Dad. Okay, finally getting some owl noises out here. Good. Thank you, game. I can sleep somewhat better with that. Besu!
Not as bad as I expected that to be, in all honesty. I thought it was gonna be longer.
Game, don't you fucking dare do this to me. I don't have the sanity for this. Don't pull that shit on me. We went to the shed, but there wasn't anything we could do in there. We couldn't do anything at the tent. Where does it first go? Not interact with these. Back to the camp.
What the hell?
Specs. Okay.
I thought we were gonna get a fox.
Yeah, but in a place where I'm out in the woods where the sounds are not right and everything is off, I don't need to suddenly hear the sound of a twig snapping in my right ear only.
Gee.
That is not what I fucking needed.
I like this very chill music.
You like the melancholy music?
Mm-hmm. This is the kind of classic music I enjoy. Yes, I enjoy violins and I enjoy listening to harp music, so it's very calming to me. Not as much melancholic to me, but that's just my vibe.
Generally, when strings come in this key, is because they are trying to induce sadness or melancholy. Because most people react that way to this key.
Yeah, I am not most people, I think, as we have learned.
Yeah. Strings don't affect me. There's a different music family that does.
I wonder if someone has taken this instrumental and put lyrics to it.
I doubt it.
Oh, there was lyrics.
That's because this isn't a classical piece. I was waiting for when they were going to bring in the drums and the lyrics, so they recognized it.
Are the cattails intermixed with that?
Yes.
I'm glad I'm able to recognize the plant.
What is this?
That poetry would leave you notes and trees if that's what it took. I love you. Be safe. Keep moving forward and looking up.
Did we ever get me back?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was a noise in the affirmative to my question or just a noise of acknowledgement, and I am confused.
Oh. So that's what the things were that I was finding. Would you like to anonymously submit your statement to the first tree to an online moderated database that may appear randomly to other players? I assume that means that the message that was on the tree at the end was one from another player.
That's cool. That made Blake fall asleep.
I do believe that's going to be it for stream today. Now, let's see who we're going to be going on to over on Twitch. Ooh. Oh, a lot of these people aren't usually on. All right, we're gonna be going on. Okay, so that event is over. So let's go. Yeah, that's good. So we'll be making our way on over. Okay.